All right. Before we jump in here, I do want to mention very quickly, nothing in this webinar today is financial advice. Trading, especially options, carries significant risk and isn't suitable for everyone. So you should always review your objectives, fees, and disclosures before investing. So let's get started now. My name is Matthew Foster, and I lead the API sales here at Public. And we're also joined by my colleague, Tarric Sookdeo, who is our head of API development. And every day, Tarek and I are working directly with active traders, with automation-focused builders, and with advanced users who are really pushing the limits of what a modern brokerage API can enable. And today's session is really designed to give you a clear and practical understanding of what the public API is, how it works, and why serious traders are using it right now. And we'll walk you through the core foundation, the advantages that it's giving our active traders, and we'll show you how you can start building your first integration immediately after this session. And at a high level here, the public API is really letting you build, automate, and scale your trading strategies using the same infrastructure that's powering the public platform. So you're not getting a stripped down retail API. You're getting the same real-time pricing, the same execution engine, and the same account logic behind the public app. So this means unified access to equities, options, index options, and crypto all from one API. We have real-time data and transparent economics, and you can also trade right there in your public brokerage account or in your IRA. And for active traders, we understand that managing multiple systems really can slow everything down and create a little bit of a layer of complexity there. You might have multiple brokers, multiple data feeds or spreadsheets, or maybe you're just doing a lot of manual workflow. So the public API eliminates all of this by unifying your full execution and your data workflow into a single stack. And traders are choosing the public API right now because it's giving them the speed, the automation, and the control that they need with their trades. So you get real-time pricing and execution, meaning that your orders are interacting with the market without any delay. So this is very essential for intraday traders, for scalpers, or any traders that are going fully automated with their strategies. And you gain full access to our stack. And just a note here, bonds are coming soon. So this is really important for multi-asset traders who don't want to stitch together multiple platforms or multiple systems. And you can also trade stocks and ETFs from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., which covers your pre-market catalysts and your after-hours momentum. And really important here, active options traders using the API can earn up to 10 cents per contract in rebates. So this could provide a meaningful edge when you're trying to trade more volume or size, or if you're trying to go fully automated with your option strategies. And with up to 250K in instant buying power, you can react quickly without having to wait for settlement. And with having full read-write access, you can easily fetch your data, your positions, you can track transactions, and you can execute, modify, cancel, replace orders all programmatically through the API. All right, so getting started is really simple. Create your public account, go into your settings, and under security, you'll see a section for API. So you'll just generate your key right there and make sure you store that in a secure location. And from there, you can jump directly into the docs where Tarek will show you every endpoint is testable right here in the browser. And for developers or for automation heavy traders, we're offering a Python SDK and a complete Postman collection to help you explore and build quickly. So most traders are going from generating a key to making their first request in just a few minutes. And this is going to set the stage here for the demo that you're about to see. And now that you've seen what the API offers and why traders are using it, we're going to bring it to life for you. So in this section, Tarek is going to walk you through a live demo. We'll go through the docs, the SDK, placing an equity and an options trade, and I think we're even going to do a simple automated spread for you. And this is going to show you exactly how traders are using the public API today to automate their tools, their workflows, and run strategy logic in real time. So with that, I'll hand it over to Tarek for the live demo.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Matthew. As Matthew just mentioned, we have a few different demos here lined up, and they're really going to be geared towards like the different levels of technical proficiencies and to show you how like people could scale up with the API as they're learning to use it. So first things first, I want to showcase are our API docs. Our API docs, as Matthew mentioned, would be if you go to your public account, go to security. Under API, you would see view API docs here, but first off, you can create and revoke your API keys here. So whenever you hear us talking about your API keys, this is where they're created. Once you click on view API docs, you're going to see our full suite of API docs here, where there's going to be quick start guides, examples, any SDKs, tools, or any updates we have for you would be here and also in the changelog. And these are all of our different API endpoints. So as Matthew mentioned, that these API docs are fully interactive and you're able to test the API request here as well as get samples over here in both Python, JavaScript, or plain curl. But let's say you wanted to test out the different endpoints. You can click, for example, this get accounts endpoint, click it, click on execute, and this isn't a mock response. This isn't a test response. This is an actual response for this account. And that's true for every single one of the endpoints listed here. Anytime you click on one, you can test it out. For example, if you go to get quotes, click try now, select your account ID. And let's say you wanted a live quote for Apple stock. This is the real after hours quote for Apple stock at this moment. Let's say now you tested the API docs, you like what you see, but maybe you don't want to go full automated with your trading, but you want to create something using the API that will help enable you to trade. You can start building individual components such as a real-timed armed stock order window where you can place orders really quickly without having to go through like a confirmation flow per order like you would on our website. So would anybody in the audience want to recommend a stock ticker that we can place a trade with? If not, we can go with good old NVIDIA. Oh, Michael,
How about Tesla? It was strong all
Tesla.
day.
That one
Thank
is
you.
TSLA. Yep, let's go with Tesla. As soon as this is fully built out with our API, it's a component, it's fully customizable. After this demo, I'm going to place the code for this on our GitHub for anybody that wants to test it out or even have add some pull requests to it to make it improve it. So let's say we wanted to buy Tesla stock here. This is again live data coming in from the API. Obviously, after hours markets are a little slower. But let's say we wanted to buy either dollars or shares worth of Tesla. We can place a buy order for $10 worth of Tesla, and the order immediately goes through. And you can see it here. It's queued up, but during it's set to do that, but you can have it set to automatically execute whenever you want. You can buy and sell quickly, just like that. Okay. So individual components are also buildable to enable your trading, including things like order windows, dashboards, anything along those lines. Now, let's say you like the API, you have an options trading strategy you really like, but executing it every day across all the symbols you want, it becomes time consuming. That is where full automation of your code can come into play. So this is a simple credit spread strategy, a call credit spread strategy outlined here. And what we're basically going to do is initialize a client. Oop, apologies. I just realized I'm not sharing the code. Okay. So this is the code for a simple call credit spread strategy. And basically what it's going to do is initialize a API client using the public SDK. Python SDK. You're going to define parameters for the credit spread. Then we're going to get information about that specific instrument, the options chain, the options expirations, as well as the Greeks. And we have endpoints that provide all of this information. So you can really drill in and define your option strategy however you want. And by doing all of these things, we can then run the script and about 10, 15 minutes worth of work searching through everything ends up being automated within a couple of seconds. Getting this information, and we ran some analysis here on whether or not this trade for specifically AMD would be worth it. Now the trade didn't place because it's after hours. Obviously, options are not gonna execute, but I'm gonna also put this code on GitHub if anybody wants to play with it, and you can uncomment out the code execution section and see if it works. So we really walk through here, testing the API endpoints, building components, as well as fully automating a trade strategy in a couple of minutes. Those are our demos. Now I want to pass it back to Matthew to help wrap us up. Oh, sorry, for our Q&A.
Yeah, sure. So now I think we just want to open up the floor to any questions, and we'd be happy to provide you guys with some clarity.
Thanks, guys. What are you doing with SPX options and ES and NQ options in the overnight sessions?
Yes. So right now we do not offer futures options or futures. Um, and index options will trade during regular hours. So that would be kind of like the limitation on the API.
Okay, thank you. I just wasn't sure. And some people are, some people aren't yet.
All right. Any other questions out there?
I see one from David. He asked, does the APR offer inflow/outflow data? If so, at what frequency is the data available? So we're offering market data that is real time and live. We currently don't do historic data, but that is very near term on our roadmap, if that helps answer your question on that, David. Also, Kumara asks a similar question. Do we offer open, high, low, close volume data via the API? So candlestick data. That's something that we will start offering very soon. Matthew, I see one here. It says, I'm already running a strategy on another broker's API. How hard is it to switch over to public's API? And what does that process look like if you want to grab that one?
Yeah, sure. That's a common question we've been asked. So public API is designed to really be low friction. The API is modern REST. We have very well built SDK and Postman collection that can really map cleanly to your existing workflows. Most traders can really port their strategy over and get to a first trade pretty quick because setup's a little bit lighter and faster than some of the existing more outdated APIs there on the market. So we've had traders port over in like less than a day. So it's a pretty seamless transition.
Awesome. Thanks, Matthew.
Yep.
Um, I see Kumara asking, what is the general rate limit policy? This is a good question. Our current rate limit policy is 5 requests per second per account. So if you're trading on a Roth IRA and a traditional brokerage via public, you have each one of those accounts is basically allocated 5 requests per second. This is something that we're open to feedback with, and if this ends up being limiting, please let us know and we'll see if we can work around this and help you out.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Uh, First of all, I just wanted to say thank you guys for the demo. I'm a huge fan of the app and the product that you guys have been developing over the last couple of years. And then second of all is really my question, which is relating to the dashboards that you mentioned. Do you have any demos or kind of examples of the dashboards that we could create using this API?
So really there is we don't have demos. That's mainly because dashboards are highly personal to the trader on what's important to them. And also they're like in reality, any information being pulled from the API can be displayed in a dashboard. So that's anything including your portfolio, transaction histories, your trade histories, or anything related to any of the option chains you want to trade. Um, Also like how interactive you want it to be. But if this is something that you think would be like useful, we're again, you can always recommend us if to build out something that you want to see.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I see one here, Matthew, if you want to grab it. What's the best way to test my integration before I go live? Um, do you have any examples or recommended like tooling?
Yeah, it's a great question. So most developers are starting with our Postman collections and using the SDKs, or just some example scripts to validate the auth, the quotes, and the order flow. So that's a really developer-friendly way to test the integrations from end to end. Then you could just go straight into your live trading with pretty minimal change.
Awesome. I see another good one here. This is related to options trading. Uh, does the option API support complex strategies? And do the same rebates apply to the API?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the API supports both single leg, multi-leg options. We also do index options on the API. And for options traded via the API, the rebates are going tiered from 6 cents up to 10 cents per contract, all dependent on the volume that you're trading. And this is all posted with our schedules on the public website. So all of that runs on the same execution layer that our active options traders use right there on the public app. So all the routing and the fill quality are really consistent.
Cool. Thanks, Matthew. I see one from David I can grab. David asks, are there any subscription fees required for accessing the API? The answer is no. We don't have any subscription fees for accessing the API. So you can go in, make an API key, and start testing immediately without a subscription. I see Andy is asking, is there a way to pull the whole option chain for a symbol? The answer is yes. In that sample code where I did the call credit spread, it actually does do that. And we will be putting that up on our GitHub for you to see like an example on how to do that. So we do have endpoints where you can grab you can pare down into it an option, the bet like however you want. So high level, get all the expirations. From the expirations, get the entire option chain for that day. And then once you find strike price or any kind of Greeks that you like, you can get even more detailed quotes for that specific option contract to help you find the best price you want to place a trade from. I see one here, Matthew, if you want to grab it. If I'm running a multi-asset strategy, can I trade stocks, options, and crypto all in one workflow through the API in the same account?
Yeah, that's a great question. So absolutely. You can trade equities, you can trade options, you can trade index options, crypto, all through the API, one account. So you don't have to stitch together multiple brokers. which I think it's really giving you like a true multi-asset execution workflow. And what we're seeing is that's leading to fewer points of failure for automation.
Awesome. I think those are. Oh,
See anything else there, Terry?
Andy's asking, you have to make repeat calls for the options chain. There isn't one call to get the whole chain and the Greeks. No, so we don't do one call just because it that would end up like requiring a lot longer response request time. So if you only wanted certain information, that wouldn't be advantageous for certain traders. So we did split up the API calls into multiple calls to just make sure that you have the level of granularity that you would want. I think those are all of our questions. I'm gonna pass it back to Matthew to help wrap us up.
Yeah, sure. Well, before we wrap up, just want to say thank you to everyone today for joining us. We're really, really excited about where the public API is headed, and you can expect a lot of meaningful updates from us over the next few months. And if we, by chance, didn't cover any of your questions here, just rest assured that we're keeping track of everything, and we're going to follow up with everybody individually in the coming days. And as always, your feedback is really shaping what we're building here. So, one of our core principles is you ask and we're shipping. So, if there's any specific feature that you want, maybe an improvement that you need, or something that could just make your strategy run better, just let us know. Drop Tarek or I a line, and we're listening and just shipping based on what we're hearing from the community. So stay tuned, keep experimenting, and don't hesitate to reach out to us. And we can't wait to see what you're going to build with the public API. Have a great evening.